got some hot topics, man, that we can
For sure.
dive into, man. And so I want to start off by, we got to send our love and prayers and condolences to DMX. You know what I'm saying? And so just a moment of silence for him, his legacy, and what he meant to all of our lives. Sometimes, man, death will make you reflect, if nothing else. And I start thinking about, man, what influence did DMX have on my life? And he came on the scene in 98. Mm-hmm. We came on the scene in 97, 98. Mm-hmm. And I had to just reflect back, because you grow up and you go on different things, different paths. And so when he died, I just spent the whole day and I just went back and listened to his albums, and it took me right back to where I was. And I just remember the songs that were hits in 98 and how it shaped our life. I ain't see it at the time, but looking back, underneath this shirt I'm tatted up, and I got a dog on this arm, and this card, and the words say "Silent Assassin." And I know for me, I was a silent killer on the field and the court. But now looking back after his death, I never looked at the correlation with that. His album cover is the same dog that I had on my arm. I'm looking like, dang. He used to talk about where my dog's at. Right. When we played ball, we wanted to be a dog on the field. We right here. Right. Bring it. We ain't going nowhere. His anthems. You know what I'm saying? And so he had such an influence in a profound way, indirectly. Mind you, we wasn't out doing nothing foolish and nothing reckless. But as I reflected on his life, man, I couldn't do this episode without, again, giving it up for him and his family, man.
For sure, I agree with you, man. Prayers and thoughts out to the family, man. DMX had a major impact on us, for sure. You couldn't lift the weight, man. I crashed him, and especially if Sparky was in there, without listening to Belly Hole soundtrack, straight through, no skips. You know what I mean? And that's heavy DMX.
Grand finale, all
of that is on there. And just all DMX, bro. So, you know what I'm saying? So those were our anthems, those were our workout songs, that was get hype. Do your max, all of that, you know what I'm saying, was to DMX, bro. So
that's what's up. I'm happy to hear that, because I was thinking, man, like, man, what was my guys listening to? Were they on X? You know what I'm saying?
That's heavy, bro. And I think when I think of him, you know, his uniqueness, his creativity, him being who he is. Right. You know what I mean?
Him praying. Yeah. He made being a Christian cool.
Faithful. Right.
He never shunned God in the public eye. He pray at his concerts. He brought people to Christ while talking about his, you know what I'm saying, robbing and the stuff he was doing, his demons of addiction and things like that. So
he was transparent with his.
Very transparent.
Very
and
transparent.
He was the perfect fit for that time in 98. Like, that's the perfect music in the weight room. Like, any athletic getting hype.
Yes.
Like, man,
X was it.
Perfect, bro. X was it, bro. Had us playing out our mind, bro.
Our first artist to go platinum in the same year. He dropped them albums back to back. The stuff y'all was getting hype off and tearing everybody up in the city with, that he kept that heat coming.
Bro, you know, he also made it okay for you to be aggressive. Wasn't no aggressive rappers at that time. Wasn't no, you know what I mean? Like, he made it okay.
He
like,
did, bro.
Yeah, for real.
Word he did.
100, bro.
Word he did, man. He just had a profound impact, man. And I said, with the passing of him, it didn't hit me hard like Nipsey, but it still hit me enough to make me say, you know what? Some of the people that we grew up to the soundtrack of our lives are starting to fall off.
Exactly.
And so it just made you take a step back just a little bit to be like, man, X gone. I lost Kobe last year. You know what I'm saying? And
the reflection
and what people don't know about that. So I told you guys transparently, my tattoo, looking back, at the time I wasn't thinking it was DMX, but looking back, I'm looking like I had to be influenced by that. I got this before people was getting tatted like that, and it's a dog, and so I had to make that correlation. But my business name is Chris Inc. But what people don't know, a story that nobody knows, is I got the inspiration because Kobe Bryant, when he retired, his business was called Kobe Inc. And I just be looking at, man, two of the most influential people that indirectly impacted my life, they went to go be with the Lord. You know what I'm saying? And so again, man, give people their flowers while they're here.
Sure.
And make sure you guys are, again, cherishing every moment you have with people you love and care about.
For sure. And even, man, step up on it if they have flaws, man. Step up and try to help them with those things.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Don't be a silent friend. Call it out. Be somebody that's going to try to help them get better.
Don't let me die.
Yeah, don't let me die. Yeah, that's the last thing I want to say on that.
Definitely. Life is but a vapor, man.
Always.
Life is but a vapor, man. Listen, guys, anything else y'all want to hop on for the hot topics? Think about the guy that shot up those people.
I was just about to say that, man. Prayers and shouts out to all those 6 people involved in that.
The mental illness piece in football, man, it's real.
It's starting to show its head a lot more nowadays,
real, man. And I want to touch on this a little bit. I don't want to really dive into it though, but you know, after football. After basketball, I remember, you know, I had my short career. I struggled for a while. A lot of guys struggle for a while. Think about it. You've been a kid. You've been playing this sport all your life.
That's all you dreamed about.
That's all you dream about. You get cut multiple times, and what happens? You out the league. Now what? So you had some concussion issues. So you struggling with, you depressed. You're not in the NFL. Now you struggling with these headaches. Mental illness, man. It's huge, man. I think as in these professional sports, especially football, they have to do a better job of helping these guys out who's having these times in the NFL that's coming out 2-3 years later. It needs to be a program. How can we have these players and in your program to get them guys suited back into the real world?
But how do you test for that? How do you know which players need to go in the program? Because not everybody
show signs of CTE.
Exactly. Yeah. Or aggressive behavior.
It ain't just the CTE piece. It's guys, like for example, I just seen what is that? Black Rob.
You're right.
Big time Rule Bad Boys. Now this he's struggling, man. You know what I mean? Like how can you be, you know what I mean? It's happened all the time, but you know, head of Bad Boys, you guys, Chris, you probably know him more, but you know what I mean, was probably a millionaire, and now look at him now. You know what I mean? So that's the tough part. When I look at rappers and I look at these football players, I look at them, and they was on the top of the mountain, and now these guys is poor, man. They having these health problems, and they don't got no clothes. And
but you said a mouthful though, CB. Yeah. Like it's a lot that goes into that. Like so, for one, being at the top of the mountain is a beast in itself.
Exactly.
Falling from the top of the mountain is a beast in itself.
Yeah, that's true. That's facts.
Now the money is a whole nother beast. You know what I'm saying? Like you probably
fame is another beast.
Exactly. So like you and the people that you go up and you turn your nose up at, man, you coming down, them people gonna turn their nose up at you because
who know if they was turning their nose up.
I'm just saying, like, because usually if you good with people gonna look out as some form of capacity. I ain't saying that that's for every case, you know what I'm saying, but most cases, if you good to people be good to you.
And that's what I'm saying. We have to do better in society for rappers, these people, entertainers, athletes, when they get to the top, or they have a great college career. Guess what? If I'm a good college football player, I'm gonna bring so much revenue into that program. I get into NFL, go draft first round, and I don't do well, and now I'm broke. Something has to happen, so that's why I'm agreeing to the college. They getting paid or they getting a stipend with their likeness and different things of that nature because they bringing so much into that program.
I agree with that.
So I just think about it is programs need to be in place.
Correct.
For guys that's been in the NFL that did some great things in college that helped me. If I'm in college, you guess what? And I go in the NFL, I have a short career, but he helped our college program. How can we help this guy? He's broke. He don't have anything.
But he gotta want the help.
Yeah, you too. But we don't have that system in place though. We don't have that system in place.
I was talking to Wes actually, and we was talking about how is this the first time he did this? You know what I'm saying? Is it a record? Back to the guy that killed the 6 people. Is it a history of him kind of going off the rails? Did he pull a gun before? Did he get aggressive? Did he beat somebody up? Did he get what I'm saying?
It's always red flags.
Always. So
always.
What were you doing when that first red flag or that second red flag popped up.
And we seen these stories all the time. The star athlete in high school, he does this, but guess what? He's not going to get suspended because he's a good football player. I think it's time that we report these stories now. College too, bro. They do it in college. Same thing. They covered up because as a head coach, you know, this is my job.
Yeah,
this is my job, so I can't put that out there. If I do put it out there, it's gonna make our institution look bad.
But situations should have shown us, bro, like how they panned out the Aaron Hernandez thing.
Oh man,
that situation didn't go. It went unchecked.
Yep.
Like nobody said nothing, nobody did nothing, and it was some red flags there, bro. So that's all I'm saying. Before we get to bodies. You know what I mean? Like somebody got to speak up. Not saying I don't know if anybody did speak up or not in this situation, but it just would make more sense if somebody said something, somebody did something before we get bodies on the floor. You know
but always be red flags. They always cover it up. So think about it, bro. I make one mistake, cover it up. Make another mistake, cover it up. Being a 17, 18, 19-year-old kid, bro, I feel like I'm inferior, bro. I feel like I'm a god now. You know what I mean? I could do whatever I want to do. And guess what? It adds up, and then you get a boom like a Aaron Hernandez situation, bro, because he was never disciplined before. Rest in peace. That's I'm saying that was just a tragic story, tragic ending. It should have never got to that point. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Correct.
But that's a lot. It's a lot of guys that's going on to that road. Bro.
And previously, I agree with that, man. It's just time. With it being 2021, bro, we gotta check that stuff. We gotta,
right.
You know what I mean? Head coach or not, bro, you gotta deal with it, bro. You get paid millions of dollars. You get paid the big bucks to handle the stressful situations. You know what I'm saying? So
the big thing, and I want to connect this financially to all of this. It brings me back to we don't talk about Aaron Hernandez. Rest in peace to him. We talked about an NFL player that shot 6 people, including himself. Rest in peace to him.
And the family.
And then we lost DMX, an icon, a person that had an influence over all our lives. Rest in peace to him. But financially, do you have life insurance?
Correct.
Man.
Financially, correct. Did you have a will in place? Did you have the things in place to look out for your family so that they don't have to struggle in your absence? Again, guys, we can't be doing GoFundMes when we have the opportunity to have insurance and do and live the right way. And so with me, I'm going to always connect everything financially so that you guys can see how it interconnects and why it's important. And again, I'm praying and my condolences goes out to the DMXs and everybody else, man. But we got to make sure our affairs are in order while we're on this side so that we leave a better life for those that's going to be left behind.
I want to talk about the mental side of it. We talked about it some, but dealing with loss, bro.
Yeah.
All these different families, all these different people, DMX, all those people that you name, those are several families that's been touched with loss. You get what I'm saying? So what I would recommend, bro, like is grief counseling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because once you lose somebody, you don't know how you're going to react to it. But with that being said, it's always easier to talk to somebody. It's always easier to get some of that stuff out versus trying to react to when something, a boom happens. You know what I mean? You're trying to prevent the boom. So that's all I would add. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just make sure your mental is tight. Make sure you're trying to keep yourself in tune. If you need to talk to somebody, reach out to some grief counseling, especially while it's early on. You know what I mean? It's going to be offered. It's going to be available.
And understand that it's okay to grieve. He talked about getting grief counseling. Understand that grieving is a part of the process.
Correct.
And nobody can't tell you or put a time frame on how long your grieving process is. Some people get over stuff sooner than others. Okay? Take the time you need to grieve properly. Take the time to do whatever you need to do to cope. Whatever that might be, whether you walk, whether you go work out, whether you listen to music, whether you go to sleep, do what you need to do, but make sure, like E said, you're talking to somebody at the end of the day to make sure you're not holding all of that in and harboring all of these thoughts and bad beliefs about things.
Y'all see when Jay-Z paid
for DMX Masters.
That's a major salute,
huge.
Bro.
And
he the Godfather now,
oh,
bro.
Yeah, he a beast. Like, huge for that. But, like, going back to the life insurance situation, those occurrences always not going to happen. You know what I mean? For normal people, you know what I mean? Like you said, the GoFundMe page, that's huge, man. That life insurance It's so huge, man. It's so beneficial, man, because you never know when God said, hey, it's time to come to me. You know what I mean? So you definitely don't know.
Yeah. On that note, guys, we're going to wrap up this episode. We want to thank you for hanging out with us, and make sure that you have some real friends in your life, because it makes the journey a lot more special. Until next time, we guys will see you later. Make sure you like, subscribe, and join us on this journey. Until then, peace.